Isolation day 66, Saturday the 23rd of May. I hope you're all well and you're looking after yourselves. So it is Sunday night that I'm recording this. It's been 2 whole weeks. What I thought I'd do tonight is just have a bit of a chat with you, because I've been showing you a lot of graphs, a lot of detail, a lot of information that I've been compiling over the last 2 weeks. What I wanted to do was just give you a bit of an overview of how I've kind of felt and how I've approached it, and then also my plans for the next week, and then what's going to happen potentially afterwards. So what would I say? It took me a long time to get into the transition and starting this. I was really worried about my background insulin, and I think the process of coming off of the CGM before and testing my basal rates has actually set me in pretty good stead, because as you've seen throughout, those of you that have been watching, my bloods have been consistently low throughout the last 2 weeks. And so I've had to just take the approach, which is, look, if I have to adjust my basal insulin, then I have to adjust it. Before, I was quite concerned about doing that because I didn't want to go too low. I wanted to take it nice and easy, but to a certain extent, because I've reacted so quickly, although as I understand it, 70 to 80% of people do, then I've had to make these changes and not be worried and not get bogged down with it. I've just had to get on. What I'd also say is that overall, as I said yesterday, my bloods haven't been high. I haven't seen any spikes. I think that is primarily down to the fact that I'm on meal plan 2, and I'm following that pretty much to the letter at the moment. I've had very little fruit. I've had fruit for breakfast 2 or 3 times in the last 2 weeks, and it's been amazing, and I've loved it because it tastes incredible. But the majority of the food is legumes and is beans, so black beans, borlotti beans, chickpeas, loads of chickpeas, and then it's lots of greens as well. So you've got kale and you've got spinach and you've got lettuce and you've got cabbage and all of that kind of stuff. I'm looking forward, to a certain extent, I'm looking forward to introducing more fruits. So my undertaking to you guys next week is that whilst I am on week 3 of the meal 2 plan, which again is considerably biased towards the legumes and all of the different types of beans and the greens, as I've mentioned, anytime I need a snack, what I'm looking for is to start introducing snacks. I've been pretty strong on just having breakfast, lunch and dinner. I'm going to introduce some snacks, and that's going to be fruit, and I'm going to see how my bloods react to that. So that's my first undertaking to you, and also to myself, because this is supposed to be the whole food, fruit and veg diet, not just veg diet. So and they do sort of prescribe to introducing fruit in. So that's what I'm going to do next week, and that's my major sort of undertaking. The next undertaking, and the issue that I think I've had for the last couple of weeks to a certain extent, is because I've been so low, I haven't been exercising. I haven't been training. I've sort of thrown a few weights around 1 or 2 nights in 2 weeks, and that's just not me. So I'm feeling a little bit, my body feels fine, but I'm feeling a little bit lethargic, and I want to get out and start training. So my next undertaking is every day I will either be plodding, which is my way of jogging at my age, plodding, or weights at home. So, and I always mix in a bit of calisthenics with that as well. So I'll give you an update about that. Anyone that watched the really early videos, I was doing that quite often. I am concerned about going too low when doing that, because a byproduct of training as well, it helps with your insulin sensitivity. That's my release from my work. So I need to start introducing that. So those are the 2 undertakings that I give you. The first one is to eat more fruit and consistently eat fruit, and the second one is to exercise every day next week and for the week after. That may affect my bloods as well. Let's see how that goes. Other than that, what I would say is this has been surprisingly quick, surprisingly efficient. Has it been concerning? I've got to admit, when I took my blood and it was 1.7, yeah, that's a little bit that was more than a little bit concerning. That was a particular low, where fortunately I was absolutely fine. But you know, I'm sure anyone out there that's experienced a 30, if you're in the US, or 1.7 in the UK, you could be in quite a bit of trouble there. I wasn't. It's fine. Onwards and upwards. So let's move on. What I'd also say is, having the CGM off is quite empowering in some ways. You know, I'm spending my time taking my bloods consistently, and I'm trying to do it throughout the day, and making sure I'm taking it before food and 2 hours and 3 hours after food to try and check and see how my bloods are. I think I'm doing quite well at that. The third and final undertaking is I will stick with the decision trees and making sure that I don't let my next meal impacts upon the insulin or the active insulin or anything that's happening with the last meal. At times that can happen. I'm going to try and keep it as clean as possible, as efficient as possible, and learn as much as possible so that I can communicate to you guys. When I started this was almost like therapy for me, because I felt very alone. The fact that I'd isolated, it was very against my entire life of working and sort of ignoring the fact that I was diabetic, because not ignoring it, but in relation to work, just ploughing on through and working and concentrating on work, and the diabetes worked around it. This was, as I planned it to be, therapy for me. This has helped, and it's certainly helping talking to you guys and getting a bit of feedback from you. What I'll do on this video is I'll put my Instagram handle below. If you do want to, please feel free to, and just sort of reach out to me and tell me that you got my information from here, and I'll keep in touch, and of course I'll follow you guys. Okay, have a good night, look after yourselves. Tomorrow I'll be giving you the full lowdown on the first 2 weeks, and I think it's going to be quite an interesting one, because I've had a significant move this week as well. Okay, thanks very much. Bye.